What is going on, everybody? Welcome to a breaking news. We're gonna be candidates that were last week. We're up for Ward 5, and a lot of people have been talking about this, so we're gonna actually let the public see this. This is a replay of the three candidates, so basically we do have three that we're up to give a speech just to lay out what you're going to see here. It's not that long, about 15 minutes, and they basically each person has 5 minutes. They'll explain how that works, and so you can kind of just get an idea of the decision process that it took for these candidates, and you'll be able to hear the speeches. And we do have this coming up, so hang tight. Give me a one if you can hear the audio pretty good, a two if it's bad, and we'll get this started right now.
Yes, ma'am. We have David Garcia, Gabriel Holguin, Robert Jaramillo, and Rocque Perez.
Okay. Again, we find ourselves in the situation for the unfortunate retirement of Councilmember FIMBRES. We have all added our thoughts to Councilmember FIMBRES. Thank him for his incredible service to our community, not just as a Tucson council member, but also as the director of highway safety for Governor Napolitano, for his service in the Army, for his service working at the Sheriff's Department. Councilmember Fimbres really lived the life of service to his community, and we are eternally grateful for his service to the residents of Ward 5, to the Tucson residents, and of course to our country, because he was always also an Army veteran. So
shout out Richard Fimbres, a great ward leader, Democrat leader, but he was a great leader. He retired recently, and now they've replaced him with somebody. If you're not familiar, Rocque, Rocky, whatever his name is, Perez. Now we're going to watch the three candidates that these people on the screen, Mayor Romero including, had a chance to see. So you're going to see David Garcia's speech, who I, after watching these, that's who I thought should have gotten this position. So here we go. We're going to get back on this, but thank you, Richard Fimbres, for your service to the country and to the city. And I'm hoping they can get a better replacement than Rocky. This is to fill Richard Fimbres, and then they're going to put Rocky Perez in there. I think David Garcia would have been a better fit, but here we're going to watch these.
With that, I just wanted to allow the candidates at this time to present to us. I don't know if we call them by alphabetical order as you had them here. And I don't know if Mr. Attorney, you wanted to address some of the issues of the applicant withdrawing or any other issues.
Honorable Mayor, members of the council, yes, thank you for the opportunity. One of the questions that comes up when you're considering filling a vacancy on the council, of course, is the qualifications to sit on the mayor and council, and whether there are any restrictions based on persons holding another type of public office or civic or civil office. And it's an issue that comes up in different contexts across the state. And there are some statutory provisions that apply generally across the state that restrict or prohibit having conflicting offices or or offices within the same jurisdiction, things like that. To complicate things further, we have our own charter. A charter that has provisions going back to 1929 and that addresses this question actually in two separate provisions. One relates to prohibitions of persons who sits on the mayor and council, either mayor or the council members, from holding any other public office, and another provision that prohibits a member of the mayor and council from serving on any other civil office. And I mentioned the charter going back to 1929 because I need to interpret those provisions in light of what the law was at that time, as well as the law that applies now. And there were two cases back in the 1920s, just before the charter, that looked into that very issue. What does it mean to be a public office? Does it require compensation? Does it not require compensation? And ultimately, under the cases that were in effect at that time, an office was deemed a public office, whether it was an office either of trust or an office of profit, meaning regardless of whether the person received compensation to sit on whatever that competing office was. So based on that, and based on the fact that we have a second provision of the charter that really defines a civil office without any reference to whether that person receives compensation in that position. It's a difficult legal analysis, but at the end of the day, my conclusion has to be that because council members are prohibited from serving in another public office or civil office, it means an office that has duties defined by statute, duties that are acquired by that person by election or appointment, and it doesn't depend on whether they receive compensation or not. Some people will say, well, we know of some instances, even here locally, where folks were able to sit on a governing body, board of supervisors, and not have to resign a position on a school district. But that's because our charter doesn't apply in that situation. Our charter does apply in this situation. So based on that, and it's not something that folks would, just know walking into this situation, then my determination has to be that for an applicant who is on a school district board, that they would need to resign from that position in order to step into the position on the mayor and council. Now, there's a fair amount of history of case law on this topic in the state. And generally what happens is if there is, I don't like to say a violation, but if there is an instance where a person takes on a second public or civil office, the effect in the past cases has been that they're deemed to have walked away from the first office, right?
So what I'm going to do here real quick is just to catch you up on what they're talking about, because obviously I meant to start a little bit farther, but they're going over the first candidate is works for the Sunnyside School District, I believe, and he would have to resign from the Sunnyside School District for him to be able to be on the council. And so they're letting him know that, yeah, that he would have to resign for him to do that. And so for that case, we're going to just fast forward. I hate to do that to the lawyer because, he's spitting some stuff there, but
Bobby has been involved in
on here.
The Ward 5 community and throughout the city and the South Side for many, many decades in service to our community. And I just want to just vigilant about the health and safety of our water and the water we deliver to our city, serving on the Sunnyside School Board, a person that has honor and ethic and also has
He's going to
served
talk right now, so
his
hang tight
country,
right here.
in the
we're
military. And
getting
I
to
just
the
wanted
speeches.
to offer
Thanks,
Bobby
Jaramillo. I know
the
I was going to
opportunity
start it right when the speech,
to, if you'd like to come up, Bobby, and talk about this. I personally reached out to Bobby as soon as we received the resignation of Councilmember Fimbres to ask him if he was going to consider because of the value that he brings to the community. So I just wanted to offer Mr. Jaramillo the opportunity to talk to us about his preference in this dilemma that we find ourselves in.
A dilemma. They're in a
And
dilemma.
Bobby, if you could use the tall mic, I'd really appreciate it.
All right, here we go. We're going to get the speeches now. Thanks
Honorable
for
Mayor Romero, Honorable Vice Mayor Santa Cruz, members of the council. I just want to say it's a hard pill to swallow right now. But my priority is with the district, and it has been for many years. I believe that the students in our district need the leadership that I provide for them as well. I will continue to assist Ward 5 if all possible. I will continue my efforts with CWAC, UCAM, Las Aguas, and all the identities that I serve with. So thank you for the opportunity. I do want to wish Councilmember FIMBRES the very best. I know he's been struggling with this house for a few months now, maybe even longer than that. So, and I want to thank every one of you for allowing me to speak. Thank you.
And Mayor, if I can say, I appreciate that so much. This was a very difficult decision. I went back and forth in my own brain and had to, reading cases from the 1920s is an adventure in and of itself. But at a very minimum, it would have put Mr. Jaramillo in the position of someone challenging to have him removed from the Sunnyside School District as well. So given just the potential consequences of everything involved, I came to the conclusion that I did. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jaramillo. Really appreciate your interest in submitting your resume and your interest to be considered. I know that you do it because of your love of the residents in Sunnyside and Ward 5, and absolutely appreciate you. And thank you for offering to keep an eye out and help whomever replaces Councilmember Fimbres. Really appreciate you very much. Alrighty, so now we have, we're down to 3. So what I will do is I will call in alphabetical order the last remaining candidates just to come up and present to us, tell us your name and your background. And I believe that we had 2 very specific questions regarding detailed experience developing budgets. And then any connection and experience in terms of your knowledge of Ward 5 and its residents. So our first candidate would be David Garcia, and we are attaching 5 minutes to each candidate. Please, David, use the tall mic and make sure that you have the microphone directly in front of you so that we can hear you. And Ms. Clerk, if you could please add 5 minutes to the clock. Hi, David.
David Garcia.
Hello, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council. Thank you guys for, giving me this opportunity. I feel proud and, just to be in the presence and being able to sit here and, speak about why I want to represent Ward 5. Again, my name is David Garcia. I am the owner and founder of Barrio Restoration. It's a landscape company. But that started cleaning up the neighborhood. When we saw grass and trash, we saw opportunity, right? Opportunity to make an impact, to make a change in the neighborhood, and an opportunity to connect with residents too. For a long time, the neighborhood kind of like sat still. We didn't see a lot of changes happening. So I decided to put purpose behind my work, use those skills to better my neighborhood, right? It's not just cleaning up the neighborhood. We're creating respect. We're creating pride. We're creating a stronger community, and a community that we want to stay in and live in, right? One to be proud of. That was 6 years ago, and it just evolved into something huge to where now we're a resource for neighborhoods. you know, if you need help with your neighborhood, you need help with your neighbor, we want to be there to help out. And I think it's important to help out your neighbors. I think we're so used to kind of staying within our fence and just kind of like not engaging with others. We need to create more moments like that. So I kind of make it a point to just randomly help people, you know, whether you're housed or unhoused, we want to be there to support you and kind of like explain the importance about what it means to live in your neighborhood, right? To represent your neighborhood, to take pride, and all the changes that can come about it just by cleaning up, right? You clean up the streets, most likely people are not going to want to dump trash, you know, in the neighborhood. They're going to see it's well taken care of, but it's also a representation of us, you know? And I take pride in the work. I take my heart with it too. And, you know, when somebody tells me, no, I can't do something, or what you're doing isn't going to last, it really bothers me, because there's a perspective out there that nothing's going to get taken care of. And I can tell you that we've added plants. And yeah, we didn't ask for permission, but no one asked permission to keep my neighborhood dirty either. And we added rocks, but we designed them in a way where they look good. And we made planters because of the funding we didn't have at the time. So we used tires from the neighborhood, plants from the neighborhood, from a neighbor, and dirt from the neighborhood. And we kind of got artists involved to paint them, and then we worked together to install them. Leading by example, right? Taking pride and ownership of your neighborhoods. And along the way, we just kind of like, when you talk to somebody, more ideas pop up. I'm more motivated. That spark is like a flame right now. And I just, I feel like I've been representing for a long time. We've invested countless hours, you know, helped out with numerous cleanups. I mean, I'm talking about hundreds, right? Hundreds of opportunities where we just kind of made impacts there. So, you know, I can tell you I'm working literally in the neighborhood, you know, connecting with neighbors. Because of that role, I was asked to join, you know, the neighborhood association, you know, where I was voted chairman just because of the work that we were doing. And I can't say that association meetings are the most popular thing in the neighborhood. It's really hard to get people involved and invested in your neighborhood, but it doesn't stop us. You know, we have to keep trying. And I have the energy, I have the time, we have the resources, and we have the support, you know, and our role has been planting seeds, right? Literally and metaphorically, planting seeds in people's minds to like better the neighborhood and really kind of start discussing, you know, how we're going to address those issues. And we can do it by cleaning up the neighborhood. I can tell you, like, there's a lot of things I'd like to change: your streets, your lights, your homes, all these things. But a better neighborhood, a cleaner neighborhood, a safer neighborhood, I can give that tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Could you expand a little bit on your experience? I think the experience with budgeting.
Yes. So I am a business owner, small business owner, and I basically manage my own funding, right? I've been in business for the last 3 years, going off of, you know, landscape maintenance, and really kind of budgeting off what we're receiving through those jobs. I have no business loans right now to promote my business. This has all come from just us managing our own finances and really trying to like get through the week, get through the month. You know, I might be a small business, but we're still, you know, trying to make it. I've also received numerous grants that have helped us make an impact in the neighborhood. And we really kind of try to utilize and manage that and stretch it as long as possible to make a big impact in the neighborhood as well.
Thank you so much, Mr. Garcia. I really appreciate your interest in applying for this. And I see your work.
Yes.
I see that you work with many in Ward 5 and in the community,
She sees it.
including in South Tucson and other spaces in the city. So appreciate you
She
coming
sees
to
his
us today.
work.
Yes.
I don't think we have questions. Okay, no questions? All righty, Councilwoman Lee.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you for being here. I do have two questions that will be for everybody as well. Sorry to throw these in. Just curious about your time availability
Mhm.
for the role, and also your thoughts around the existing staff that are there.
S- So, my time is basically open and flexible. You know, I feel that my team could successfully execute a task on my business side for me to pursue an opportunity in the seat. And as far as you said, staff.
The existing Ward 5 staff.
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Definitely would look forward to working with them if given the opportunity and really try to make a big impact in a short amount of time. You know?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, David.
Yes. Awesome. All is
Mm.
good?
Thank you so much,
Thank
David.
you, guys.
Really appreciate you. Thank you. Our next candidate is Gabriel Holguin, and the same questions. Please detail experience in developing budgets and any experience relevant to Ward 5. Gabriel. And as Gabriel comes up, thank you, Gabriel, for your interest in putting in your name and continuing that work that you do at Ward 5. Please tell us who you are and then try and answer those two questions.
Now I'm going to stop real quick because I just met with Gabriel on Friday. And he is the nicest guy, most experienced, way more experienced than Rocque, whatever you want to call him, Rocque, Perez. This guy works in Ward 5 right now. He worked under Richard FIMBRES. He's got his degrees. He was more qualified than Rocque Perez. So here, we're going to get a chance. You guys let me know in the chat what you think of his speech. And then they're going to bring on the wonder boy, the chosen boy, who we all know. You know, they already knew who they were going to pick because these speeches are way better, and you'll get to see. But here we go.
Good afternoon, Mayor Romero and members of the council. My name is Gabriel Holguin, and I'm honored to be here before you. I'm here because I care deeply about Ward 5, not just as someone who works in the space, but someone who calls it home. As a council aide currently of Ward 5, I have supported constituents facing issues from housing needs and infrastructure needs, and I have followed up on those concerns, followed up on concerns that often go unseen but matter deeply to them. When constituents have come to our office, I have stayed, I have listened, and I have followed through. Before entering city government, I spent 5 years in a leadership position in a community-based organization, participating in budgeting and planning discussions. That experience taught me how to weigh limited resources against real needs. And it's a lesson that I carry with me today. Going back to my experience as a council aide, I've also attended neighborhood association meetings, primarily Julia Keene neighborhood, as well as Sunnyside as well. I also attended the budget town hall meetings, as well as the Prop 414 town hall at Miracle Mile Police Station. I hold a degree in business administration with coursework in micro and macroeconomics, as well as financial and managerial accounting. I've had discussions in budget planning and understand how to read a budget, as well as identify pressure points and weigh priorities with empathy. during my time in that leadership position of that community-based organization, I've had difficult conversations about, for example, if we cut from this section, how will it affect this other section? As I recall you discussing the PEEPS, funding for PEEPS, I know what it's like to have those sensitive conversations. So I've learned how to read a room. I've learned to listen with intention, and I can speak, and I know how to speak when I believe it adds value. That approach has helped me to, like I said, navigate sensitive conversations that will help me represent Ward 5 with care and professionalism. Tucson has been my home since 2017. It has shaped my young adulthood, and it has taught me how to show up for others. And now I want to show up for Ward 5, not just as a staffer, but someone in a leadership position. Thank you.
Councilwoman Molina, I know that you wanted to add a question.
Same two questions, your availability of time, which I have a sense for since you work in the office now, and your vision for the existing staff.
Yeah. Yes, I will work with existing Ward 5 staff.
Thank you so much. Any other questions? Thank you so much. Really appreciate your interest. Our next candidate is Rocque Perez.
Rocque,
Rocque.
Rocque.
And again, the same questions, detailed experience in
All right,
developing
here's the wonder
budgets,
boy.
if any, and any experience
26 years old. He
relevant
thinks he can come and
to
just
Ward
into
5 and how
this
you
position.
connect
He can
with
just
the
come
ward
into it. And the
residents.
other two,
Awesome. Thank you again for having me, and I've loved hearing all the other stories today. I think it kind of speaks to this urgency and this excitement and the momentum that's been building around. I think bringing Ward 5 and revitalizing the energy in that community rather than silos that we've experienced. Though I've had the privilege of working with many of you across capacities, various capacities through different years, I've spent my formative years in Ward 5, and that's not known to many people. But more recently, I had the intention of returning back to Ward 5 and professionally in my role as executive director for MEC.
I wonder why he wants to get back to Ward 5, because he knew this seat was going to open, and this is how it works. And this is how this whole thing's been planned. You know, rest in peace, Grijalva. When he passed away, they knew this person was going to go after this seat, and they're going to get Ward 5. So they had him ready to move in here a year ago, ready for this. And this is just my opinion.
Both a public body of this council in Pima County and an independent nonprofit. I oversee all of the operations from budgeting and policy alignment to programs that serve and increase college access, support federal aid pursuits, and really, I think, try to coalesce in the interest of service for young people, their civic and service leadership, as well as their academic achievement and wellness. Prior to MEC, I held senior roles at both Arizona State University, though I lived in Tucson. I did not go up there. And then also with the University of Arizona. And across those roles, I worked across state and federal systems to both accrue.
He spent plenty of time going up to Phoenix, but it wasn't for school. It was possibly for extracurricular activities.
Federal resources, as well as directly manage federal grants, different allocations, both from state budget allocations as well as federal, that have really been focused on unlocking resources for low-income learners. And so for me, education is a comfort space. The wellness of young people is a comfort space. But regardless of that, I've always historically been in administrative roles where, again, I've really supported the multi-million-dollar public engagement strategies within our higher education system, as well as the
wait, let's stop there right there. So he's using all these key terms so they can go and say, oh, he said this, he's worked with this and he's worked with that. This is how they've groomed people. So then when they get to the position, they're all ready in line with the family, with the insider track.
local government, both here up in Phoenix,
Of course.
state, and at the federal level. More recently, I've, like all of us, had to navigate some of the constraints of the Arizona's flat tax system, and especially amidst the reduction of
Oh, he talks about the flat tax thing, which is the same exact line that Mayor Romero uses. Oh, the flat tax, the flat tax. Oh, this is exactly what I'm talking about. And so if you guys don't understand that this guy is not some, hey, they chose him because he's the best candidate. No, this is a groomed candidate right here that they have. They're telling him all the key words to say. Flat tax. I mean, who says that? Who says that? It's only people that are in the Mayor Romero clan. And this guy is not the more qualified candidate of the three, in my opinion. Everything they're saying, he has been trained, he's been told what to say in this meeting. And I see right through it. And if you don't, then I don't know what to tell you.
federal resources, and increased stipulations around the Trump administration's funding, continued funding.
Oh, he has to bring up so now he's in line right in. So the other two candidates mentioned nothing about the Trump, however he says it with that accent, the Trump, whatever. This is ridiculous. And I mean, I don't know. I guess a lot of people don't care. They want this 26-year-old, guy to just take over now their county or their ward. Hard to watch.
For me, MEC lost a $2.5 million grant we were very excited about.
He lost money. He lost money. He's sad about it.
I understand pivoting and really, I think, coalescing folks, both public and private partnerships. And I think likewise, we're exploring the same for both our housing issues, for environmental issues, and the list can go on. Beyond local government and higher education, I've served on a number of different nonprofit boards, including Literacy Connects, Tucson Pride, and the Public Relations Society of Southern Arizona. I'm a proud member of Tucson Young Professionals, and I'm an alum of the Greater Tucson Leadership Civic and Political Leadership Academy. Beyond my resume, just me personally, I'm obviously a young person. I'm also a gay man and a Latino whose family has known service in many forms. And I also, like them, understand the deep illusionment around politics.
Deep illusionment around politics. So who told him to say that? I mean, is that something that he's just thinking of? The deep illusionment around politics. I mean, who the hell is this guy?
And I think that tension is very real for a number of families. For me personally, I think that deepened with the loss of my younger brother. We actually just passed the 2-year mark since his passing. We lost him at the age of 19 to fentanyl. And so
fentanyl, but he brings up nothing about fentanyl, about what he's going to do to help our city in crisis about fentanyl. But now he wants to bring up his brother.
With knowing the trace,
rest in peace to his brother.
That loss has really shaped my life, and I think sharpened the empathy that I have for families that are navigating systems that are either unresponsive or inaccessible. If appointed, I would also be the second youngest.
By the way, he doesn't even know anybody in the Ward 5 office. I went over there on Friday, and he doesn't even know anybody. But the other two candidates have been working with the Ward 5 office for months and years. Barrio Restoration, shout out David Garcia, has been working with them already. He knows everybody. This guy has not even met anybody in the chief of staff. So a lot of people in Tucson, they don't care though. They would rather see Tucson just keep going to crap, and they don't want to stand up. This video I do today, they'll forget about it tomorrow. This guy, Rocque Perez, he can go and do OnlyFans and make racist comments towards, certain races in our community, in our nation. And nobody's going to question him. We got all these news stations over here. They're not doing anything. I've sent it out to the news stations. You would think that they would be trying to get an interview maybe this week with this and find out, well, how come he was written up for a code of conduct violation over at University of Arizona? Well, it's because he was doing unacceptable things inside the University of Arizona. And so now this guy gets nominated to become the ward member leader. He was already in violation in a leadership position. A code violation within the University of Arizona. I have the letter.
Person ever to serve on this council, following Roy Laus, who was just 24 when he was elected to represent Ward 5 in the 70s. And so I do see the value.
So he did his little research. Oh, hey, say this, that you're the youngest to represent this over some guy in 1970, like it really matters.
And I believe that this appointment can honor that tradition and send a message to younger generations that their leadership belongs at every table, and that it's achievable if they show up, and they show up in meaningful ways. So I recognize that this appointment, whoever fills it, also comes at a time of enormous weight as Tucson is navigating the significant and ongoing budget shortfall.
No, we have a fentanyl crisis. Okay. I understand you want to go to the budget shortfall because that's what Mayor Romero told you to say, but that's ridiculous. Okay. The budget is $4.3 billion. Okay. Just put that in your head. 4.3 billion with a B. And they're talking about a budget shortfall. And he makes one mention about helping out because his brother passed away with fentanyl. What about actually, talking about doing the things that David Garcia just talked about? Nothing. It's all about whatever he's been told. This prepared speech, you can watch it back and you can see everything he said was a prepared speech. Nothing that I am hearing is from the heart. It's just some prepared speech. Here's your chosen candidate. The others two, David Garcia and the other gentleman, never even had a chance. And it's sad. And no one in Tucson really seems to give a crap. So here we go.
And so whether that's on issues around the mounting pressure on housing, transit systems, our power infrastructure, I understand that we don't have the luxury of easy decisions ahead.
Oh, look, he just nailed all those little talking points. I wish I could rewind. I just can't go through it too much longer, but you guys can rewind on the replay. I'm not even, I'm just wanting to get this done. It's a little frustrating.
And I'm a little nervous about that.
Oh,
But
he's a little
nonetheless,
nervous.
I
He's a
understand
little nervous
that there are
about it.
decisions needing to be made that will deliver real outcomes. And so with all that being said, as we kind of look ahead, I'm eager to kickstart a budget participatory process
Wait,
and
what
work
did he just say?
alongside our Ward 5 staff,
I didn't even hear what the hell he said, but something blah, 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 blah.
including Lupita, to really kickstart that process if afforded the opportunity.
Oh, Lupita doesn't even know you. She goes, I haven't even met Roscoe, whatever the heck his name is.
Thank you, Mr. Perez. And yeah, we can applaud. Thank you so much for your interest. I know that Councilman Lee will ask the same two questions.
Have my same two questions. And now I'm realizing I'm not a young person anymore. So that's hard.
It's okay.
Time availability, and you mentioned staff, but just your vision for the existing staff.
Yeah, so I mean, realistically, MEC's programming has primarily focused within Ward 5, and so I actually find a consolidation of my time overlapping.
Relax,
with,
Bob,
this
because he
MCO in
already knows he
different
has the
contexts. And so
job,
while
buddy.
I would commit to
He
stepping
knew he was
away
coming
from
in
my
here.
role as
He was
executive
going to get
director
it.
for MEC,
That's what I'm trying
I
to
do
tell
find that
you
my
is
time will still be
this
spent
isn't
around the
some
same people on
fair
I
system.
think similar topics, I think from a different context. And so I think as we're navigating the budget,
He's
you
trained.
know,
He
I
was
see
trained. He was
nothing but
groomed
opportunity to
for
leverage the
this.
support
It's
from
not like the
existing
other
Ward
two
5
who are
staff.
coming in with their
Lupita, I
heart.
think,
This
has been a
guy is
tremendous
just
partner to
another
me
plant
this year as we've
by the
revitalized MEC.
Grijalva
And so,
cartel
I'm
and
very
the
excited to leverage have the
Romero
opportunity to
machine,
leverage
in my
her
opinion.
insights as we, I think, revitalize the energy around that seat.
And then with the staff, what's your vision?
Keep them.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
keep the
you
staff.
know, I think having Lupita here and then also Mr. Holguin, I think just speaks to the excitement and the energy and
Oh
also
yeah,
the
they're already
need,
talking about
I
the
think,
plans
leveraging
when
our
he gets
collective
the position. I mean, if you
expertise. And
guys
I
can't
think
see
as we've
this,
heard from Mr. Jaramillo and
This is
Mr.
ridiculous.
Garcia, there's an excitement from the external community. And,
Oh,
you know, I'd be
yeah,
very
we're all
excited to bring
excited, buddy.
folks together on numerous fronts, including staff, existing staff.
And Councilmember Cunningham,
So I only had
you have a
this,
follow-up.
I only had this question
Okay.
for this particular candidate because of the MEC connection.
Okay.
So I just wanted to clear up, we partially fund the MEC, and I want to be sure we're not going to be paying two salaries, and how does that work? So that's it's kind of open-ended for both the attorney and Mr. Rocque, Mr. Perez.
I might answer for if possible. So, you know, with the annual allocation that MEC has historically gone, it is non-competitive. I believe it comes out of the city manager's budget. It is relatively small. Sorry, guys. And it doesn't go towards salaries. It's purely programmatic. That being said, with me stepping out through an unpaid leave, I would not receive funding regardless.
Unpaid leave, you're planning an unpaid leave?
Unpaid leave.
Oh,
That's all I
unpaid
need.
leave from the
That's
other
all I need.
position.
Okay, alrighty. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the three of your presentations. All of you add so much to our community, and thank you for stepping up. And I mean, I feel old now.
This is where the
Really
fix
happy
goes in.
to
This is where they have to
see
say
the
all
three
the
of
nice
you,
things about
step
all
up
the people, and they pick
provide
the wrong guy, the guy
the
that they
possibility
picked,
of
they
having you
groomed.
all here. So, what is the council's pleasure at this time? I think, do I need to read anything specifically? Let me see.
Here's where the fix goes in,
Alrighty, so we
Tucson.
need to read the communication number. So item 2 is
Presentations by applicants and possible action by mayor and council regarding the appointment of the Ward 5 council member to fill the vacancy caused by the retirement of council member Richard G. FIMBRES.
City Manager's Communication Number 122 dated May 6th is received into and made part of the record. Ms. Clerk, you are requested to read ordinance 12160 by number and title only.
Ordinance number 12160 relating to the appointment to fill a vacancy on the city council appointing blank as Ward 5 council member for the city of Tucson, establishing that the appointee shall serve for the remainder of the term of office and declaring an emergency.
What is the council's pleasure? Vice Mayor?
Mayor, before I make a motion, can I make some remarks? Is that, or, okay.
Absolutely.
All right, so I want to also thank, all the
This is where you
applicants for
can
being
know
here
the
for
fix
time.
is in. Listen to this. Listen to this.
We're in the middle of an election for that council seat as well, so I know it makes it a little tricky.
No one's
My
gonna
good
listen
friend
anyway.
David
No one
Garcia
really
is one of
cares in
the
Tucson, I know.
applicants here, and I was really excited to see him apply. He's had a deep commitment to our community through his work with barrio restoration, focusing, as he shared, on beautifying neglected spaces in the south side. And I met Mr. Garcia when he was working at Desert Survivors, working alongside and managing adults with developmental disabilities. My office, our Budget de la Gente and Fuga have partnered with him many times. So we have had a firsthand experience of the impact that he has made and is making in our communities, and his dedication to being creative and innovative, and providing employment opportunities for a lot of our neighbors and young people to create these clean, safe environments, is huge for us. I think his lived experience provides valuable insights into the challenges faced by many of our Ward 5 residents. His perspective is crucial in shaping the policies that I believe are inclusive and responsive to the needs of our diverse communities. David, even if you're not appointed to the council on this time, I strongly want to continue to work with you and encourage you to participate in other city, county boards and commissions, because I think more than an appointment, I'd love to see you run for office and get you prepared to do that with the mandate from the community, to serve. And I want to be a part of that in, any way, shape, or form that I can. I think that you hold great potential to hold public office in the future, and your ongoing engagement and growth in these different public service roles will further prepare you for that type of responsibility. So again, I look forward to continuing to work with you. And so with that, I want to move to appoint Rocque Perez to be appointed to complete the term left vacant in Ward 5.
There's a motion.
I'll second that motion.
There's
Oh,
a motion
wow,
and a
everybody
second.
just
Any further
fixed him now. Look
discussion?
at this.
Councilmember Dahl.
Thank you, Mayor. All four of you very strong candidates, even though Mr. Jaramillo, you had to drop out. Gabriel, great background in the ward office. I could see you stepping into that spot. I met David Garcia on a litter pickup. I usually do litter pickups just in Ward 3 and now almost exclusively, but one day I was in your neighborhood and I was so impressed with you and your crew and your connections. You got a great recommendation from the mayor and 2 city council members from South Tucson, which also speaks volumes. And I want to echo my colleagues' message that you have a future in government and there's some steps. And I'd be glad to be helpful to those as well. And maybe again, we will pick up litter or plant trees together.
The fix is in.
Rocque, you know, we've worked together on stuff. It's kind of a natural. And so
Yeah,
I'm
because
glad
he's
to
the
vote
plan.
for
He's
this
the
one.
groomed candidate.
Councilman
You
Lee.
guys are
And
all
then Councilmember Cunningham.
going to
I
be
will
held
brief. I just want to
responsible
thank you all
for this right
taking
here.
the time to apply and your interest in stepping up and getting into this arena. As you pointed out, Rocque, there are some big decisions that we're
Oh,
making. that we're gonna have to make.
Rocky's
So I
oh,
just
the
really
chosen
wanna thank
candidate,
for
Rocque.
all four of you for being here and for putting yourselves out there. So I'm excited to work with Rocque if we move that direction. But
Oh
thank you
yeah,
so
everybody
much
knows
for your
Rocky. He's the
participation.
choice.
Councilmember Cunningham.
David, I wanted to appreciate you reaching out. We don't know each other very well, but we know some of the same people, and the people that vouch for you.
You can
are
see it for
high.
themselves how
I have a
these
high
people
opinion of
right
you,
here on the
just
screen,
based
right
on what
here
I hear today.
on that
Got a high
screen,
opinion of you
how
too.
they work
So I hope we have
together
some more interaction
and they
in the
groom
future.
these candidates
Gabriel, you do a
who
great job for the city
have
already,
no business
and
being in
it's
that
good that you're
position.
staying. You're
He's
gonna be able to
26
help
years
in
old. He
this
has no
in this
life
process.
experience.
So
He doesn't even
while it may
he
not be
hasn't
your
even
time
lived
now,
life. He's
your time's
26
gonna
years
come
old.
too.
Give me a
I mean,
break. And you're going
I
to put him
think
on a
that
council
you've got a great future.
and you got these
in
other two.
what's to come for our community. Coach Bobby. So Coach, I just wanted to tell you how much I've admired you from afar over the years. When I was coaching at Sierra and working with Paulo and working with Los Moragas. I mean, I don't know how to put that, but all of them. I mean, it's just everything, every single time your name came up in something that you were associated with, respect followed, and your dedication to Sunnyside and those areas is outstanding. It says a lot for you today to come up and say, all right, my focus is on the school district. That's just, again, the type of selfless public service that we need in Tucson. You and I'd like to believe someday that you and I are cut from the same cloth, but I don't think I'll ever live up to it. But I just want to appreciate you stepping forward to volunteer to do this. With that being said, Rocque, I'm going to support this motion.
Oh, Rocky.
You've got a bright
Look,
future,
of course.
and you're a much more eloquent speaker than I am.
Yeah, of
really
course.
impressed today.
The fix is in here at the city
and
government.
I just want to tell you how much I look forward to some of the work you're going to do here. We've got some huge votes in like you're going to be thrown in the fire in the next 3
Yep,
weeks.
they got him
The one thing
groomed,
I'll
ready to
say,
vote
and I
in
think this
whatever
needs
he
to be said
needs
in
to.
this
He's
room,
not going to have his
is
own
that
voice.
We almost lost the MEC until Rocque took over. And I think that demonstrates a lot of what kind of person he is and what kind of leadership and
We'll
competencies
go
he
look
has.
at his OnlyFans and see what kind of person he
Councilmember
is.
Ulick.
Thank you. Having been an applicant, there are a few things that I
Well,
learned.
anyway,
Number one, it doesn't necessarily mean I was the most qualified person because I got appointed. It is somewhat about timing and the trajectory of different people in the room. So Gabriel, I want to thank you. I have to say that had I stepped in without the existing experienced staff, Ward 6 would not be well served. So much of the work really depends on people like you who have proven your service, and Lupita as well. So I just really want to give you that shout out. David, I would agree. As I listen to you, I'm pretty sure folks would follow you anywhere. You lead by example. Ambition is not your driver. And I just was really impressed with everything that you've done already for the community, and I'm excited
The
to
fix
see
is in.
where
Here we go.
that leads you. And
Oh, the
Rocque,
sweet
I think
words.
that in essence, and perhaps for the same reason that I was appointed, just I think that your most recent experience navigating budgets and the public
Because he was a
sector
groomed
is
candidate.
just what we
Groomed
need right
candidate,
now.
so they
And
could
so
come in here
I'll
and
be
say
supporting
this.
the motion and just
He
want to
is
thank
not the more
all the
experienced
applicants, Mr.
candidate,
Carrillo as well.
in my opinion.
And before we go to roll call vote, I too want to add my gratitude to all that applied. Gabriel, I started as a council aide. I did. I served Councilmember Ulick as a council aide, and I can tell you, I know what you do.
So let's stop right there. So the councilwoman right here, Karen Ulick, that's how long she's been on the board. Okay. And Romero right here used to work under here. So these people have all been, it's this insider crew, this insider. If you're the insider, we're going to promote you. If you're on the outsider, nope. And here we are. We have a crisis in Tucson, and they're picking some 26-year-old OnlyFans model to run the county. This has all been a groomed candidate. The other guys had no chance. Before they walked in and gave their 5-minute speech, in my opinion, everybody was chosen. They all sent the code signal of who they're going to vote for. So here we go. We're going to finish this up.
I know exactly what you do as council aides.
He does.
And sometimes it's long evenings, sometimes it's Saturdays and Sundays. You find solutions for the neighborhoods. And I really appreciate that you submitted your name. And I look forward to seeing you flourish and continue to working for the residents of Ward 5. David, every time I see you, I have to say thank you so much because
Well,
you
not
do
today.
so much
Not
for
today.
our community.
He does so
And
much for
I
our
agree that
community.
you do. You lead by example.
You lead by
And it's
example.
really
But
beautiful.
we're not going to pick you. We're going to
the
pick
work
some
that you do and the
26-year-old
inspiration
kid.
that you are for so many of the neighbors in Ward 5.
This is where you can see the
Thank
fix
you
is in.
for serving your community in the way that you do. And I too see you because of the passion. There could be many things happening around you, but the passion and the guiding principles never go away.
There you go.
You will always know where you come from. And when people know where they come from, they know where they're going
Right.
and where they have to go.
Then why
And I
don't you pick
appreciate it
him?
very much, my friend.
Why didn't you pick him?
And Rocque, I am so happy with the work that you have been doing with the Metropolitan
we go.
Education Commission. I know that you left the University of Arizona a secure job.
Oh yeah,
be-
the secure job, the hand picked job for him. And that's the thing is they hand pick these jobs for each one of these hand groomed candidates that they want to go in there and keep, making Tucson shitty like it is now. And so until you guys understand that this is how they operate, she just told you why David was a better candidate. She just told you. And now we're going to get to reason why they're choosing the other candidate that we all know is
the
not better.
Metropolitan Education Commission that really was flailing. And you've been able to bring it up
Oh
from
yeah,
the brink of
bring it up
us
because
seeing
you're
it go away.
hand-groomed.
And I appreciate it. And I see all of the incredible work that you have done in preparation to help us cover this gap. I believe that the residents of Ward 5 deserve a person that is here, that is paying attention, and that is leading with passion and love for Ward 5 and for the city. And I know that
Leading with passion and love for Ward 5. But David Garcia is leading with action, passion, love. I mean, she just went on a big thing about how he's doing great things. But for some reason, some 26-year-old is going to beat out David Garcia.
That person is you. So with that, we need to go to roll call.
Oh, here we go. The fix is in with the vote.
Vice Mayor Santa Cruz,
Aye.
Mr. Cunningham, Mr. Dahl,
Aye.
Mrs. Lee,
Aye.
Mixulic,
Aye.
Mayor Romero.
Aye. Ordinance 12160 passes by a vote of 6-0. Congratulations, Roque, and congratulations to all of you. And I would hope that Mr. Jaramillo and Mr. Garcia, Mr. Holguin, you all work with Mr. Perez to make sure that the residents of Ward 5
Now they
are
want
served well.
him to work with
Um,
the
give-
26-year-old kid.
Give him your advice, give him your feedback, and hopefully your support. What I wanted to make sure that we do today in between the regular council meeting and now is that we administer the oath so that Mr. Perez can join us in the regular council meeting.
Oh,
So
look, they already had it planned
Ms.
out.
Clerk,
We're gonna
Mr. Perez, would you
give
like
him
to
the
come
oath so
up?
he can
And
be in the meeting.
at this time, we're
Right
going to
there.
administer the oath of office so that Mr. Perez can join us for the regular meeting. Mr. Perez?
The hand
Not
groomed
yet.
picked candidate wins.
Come on, Kevin. Come on, man. Pick up.
Let's get this done quick, they say. Let's get him in here. Let's do the oath.
I, Rocky Perez,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona.
Wait till you see the hug.
and laws of the state of Arizona,
And the ordinances, resolutions,
and the ordinances.
This is all contrived
regulations,
right here. The other two, in my opinion, never had an opportunity. This is how they operate here.
faith and
And this is why Tucson's never going to change. They put in the same
all enemies,
friends, groomed people to take positions without actually giving people a chance.
discharge the duties of the office
Discharge the duties of the office
of council member Ward 5
of council member
of the city of Tucson, Arizona,
of the city of Tucson, Arizona,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God, or so do I affirm.
So help me God.
Here's the hug. Oh, look! Oh, cool plan.
Down that way.
You could go down the road.
All righty, with that, while we do that, we are done with item 2.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in for this special episode going over a reaction to those 3 candidates. Let me know. It'd be great if the local MS, let me read some of these comments here, would challenge him. Historic, exactly, Rick. And that's the thing is nobody is actually bringing this to the mayor. The mayor is not going to make anything, any comments. So we really just need to share it. And this is the only way you're going to be able to save the city. Is they have no plans on changing anything. They're not addressing any crisis. They don't even think it's going on. Their crisis is in a different state. They're worried about DC, and they could really care less about that. Tucson right now, we're at, I think, 26 homicides, 27, which is way higher than it was previous. We're having people, if you're listening to the police scanner, every night getting shot, robberies, bus stop attacks. And you will not hear them address any of the crisis. So, what is this? A budget inspired? Yep, exactly. So we're going to go to that, whatever that is, we're going. So Message me anything you want in the DM. Shout out Reluctant Prophet. Great channel. Check his channel out. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and try to just help bring this story out. And if you do have any future stories, send them my way. Let me see. Check the comments one more time. Let me know how the volume is. If I should have been louder, real quick before I get out of here. If it sounded good. All right, everyone. Have a good night.